Okay, round 4 of doing beans. See if we can get this video turned out right. So first thing we do is we got all of our, we're doing lima beans this time. We got 10 bags of lima beans, 10 pound. Cindy's putting them in the strainer. She's picking out the bad ones, and then she's putting them over in the other strainer and washing them off a little bit. And then they're going into this tub of water. This tub of water will go into the refrigerator, and it will set for at least anywhere around 18 hours or so, just so they can soak up some water and swell up as much as possible before we get ready to can them. Alright, and this is what they're kind of looking like right now. I'll get a shot of what they look like before they go in the fridge, and then how much they swell after we get ready when we get ready to take them out. Alright, while I was cutting up the ham and getting it sealed, ready to go in the freezer, Zane got the rest of the beans done, and I even put a mark on the Tupperware bowl that we're, the tote that we're sticking in the refrigerator. That shows you about where the top of the beans are right now. And I guarantee you where the water is at right now, they'll be above that tomorrow morning. Alright, we'll get ready to stick them in the fridge and let them set for at least 18 hours. Okay, it's the next day, and we just pulled the beans out, the lima beans out of the fridge. And as you can see, there's my mark, and there's how much the lima beans have swollen overnight. So it's well over half. So when you do this, you want to make sure you put them in a big enough container. They won't come out. We're going to let them set here, warm up, get up to about room temperature, start warming up a little bit, and then we'll get ready to start cleaning them one more time and get ready to throw them in hot water to get them warm to go into the jars.
These over here.
Okay, so we're doing our lima beans today. We did 10 pound of lima beans. This is pretty much going to turn out to be soup beans. 10 pound of lima beans.
Yeah, it's just going to be frozen lima beans.
It's going to be quite a bit. But anyway, we got our stuff out here. We got our scooper. This is what I was using to scoop them out of the tote to put it in the strainer before I put it in the pot. I'll use them out of here to put those in the jar. This is what we're stirring with. This is what I'm going to get my liquid with out of the pan. We got our chop suey sticks. That way we can actually debubble. That's what we debubble with. Makes it a lot easier than that little debubbler thing they make. That's actually pretty nice. We got our magnet for our jar lids. I do have our jar lids back here on the back. They will be back in there. Pan, they're not in there yet, but they will be back here to get warmed up. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. We still do it just because we're old and that's the way we are. So we have our jar picker upper thingy. And then over here we have vinegar. That way Cindy can wipe the lid or wipe the jars before putting the lids and everything on. Because you want to clean that off, make sure you don't have any salt on them. We are going to put salt in the jars. You don't have to. We're going to.
Just to make my wife happy.
Yeah, make my wife happy. That way I don't get yelled at. I got my funnel over here. This is what I'm going to use for putting the beans in the jar. I got my chop suey stick. This right here is a little strainer I got. This is awesome. Got a set of 3 different sizes. That's what I'm scooping all the excess skins out with. Here's our lima beans and the big pot that we're heating up, because you don't want to put anything cold in a hot jar. Our jars are in the dishwasher. We ran them through there to sterilize. You don't have to do that. That's what we do. And that way we can warm up our beans. Then we've got our pressure cooker. It's the All-American pressure cooker. We can do 14 quart in here at a time. So we're going to have plus 14 quart. So that's why we're doing the beans over there in the slow cooker. So I got my Vaseline back here. I'll use it for my lid for the seal on the All-American cooker. It's an aluminum seal. When you put the lid on, it's just aluminum to aluminum. There is no rubber gasket. I'll use Vaseline to put it on there so there's no vapor lock. And then I'll use this little Q-tip thing to put the Vaseline on there. And then here's our weight for the cooker. It's a weight that has 5, 10, and 15 pounds. We use a 10 pound for where we live. Then over here we have, this is what Cindy's going to cook for, I don't know, 24 hours, 18 hours, whatever it is. This is where all the excess beans are going to go. We're going to put them in here and cook them. That way we can actually just keep these and we'll eat them instead of canning them. And then we have our towels and everything. We actually cover ours afterwards. You don't have to do that. I've seen some people not do it. Go ahead. Seen some people do it. No, I want everybody to see you spill it. Seen some people cover them. Some people don't cover them. We actually cover ours. That way we can just it just traps the heat, helps them seal. That's just what we do. Doesn't mean you have to. That's just what we do. We're getting all kinds of help out here today. We have Nora out here, and we have Baxter. He's over there sleeping. So she's a pug, and he is a Shih Tzu. Actually, sometimes we're not sure what he is.
He's an it.
He's an it. Oh, that's mean. And then in the other room, I've got my old girl. She's a pug. That's Sissy. Charlie. She's in there, and she's laying in a chair. She's a smart one. She's laying down while everybody else is working. So we're going to get ready to start canning these, and when we get ready to start canning them, then we'll. I'm heating up my water right now. When we get ready to start putting them in the jars, we'll come back. Okay, so we start packing jars. We already got a couple done, and since I already started putting them down in there in the canner, I'm gonna let her hold a video so I can pack these jars. So I've seen people pack them different ways. They like slam them on the table or whatever, shake them up and down or whatever. I got a different way I do it, and I'm gonna let my lovely wife hold the camera. So I've got this packed in there. We'll take out the excess. So I just tap the sides of the jar and spin it. And that packs them down. Put it back on, and then I'll get juice. Now obviously I'm less than the 1 inch head space, but we're kind of finding out that doing beans, it's still going to soak up some of the water, so I'm trying to put a little excess water in it to help it stop from soaking up so much water. More water, less beans. Alright, and then I'll give it to her, and she will actually wipe the lid.
No,
Or I'm sorry, wipe the rim of the jar with vinegar. And she actually cleans the inside and the outside both. Then she'll put the lid on, and how do you say, finger tight?
Yep.
So finger tight to everybody's a little bit different. Guys, whatever you do, don't torque down on it. It don't work.
Now that my finger tight right there, and yeah, he would break the jar.
Then she'll put it down inside of the pot, and we'll continue until we get all 14 jars done. Okay, so we'll talk about a couple things I forgot. We're amateurs at this, or at least I am. So right now we got 5 quart in there, and we're going to hit 14 quart. I know we are. So I forgot about debubbling. So after you put your water in, you got to debubble. Like I said, we use a chopstick. And then before I put any beans in any jars, I put, what is that? Half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of salt in each jar. You don't have to do it, but that's what we do. So, not saying you're doing it wrong, but this is just the way we do it. And then we'll get ready to seal everything up here in just a few minutes. Alright, so we got all of our jars in there. So we got 14 quart in the canner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Vaseline on my little Q-tip thingy here, and I'm going to go around the outside edge because I'm not going to touch the pot. It's hot. And then I'm also going to go around the edge of the top of the lid of the canner right there with the Vaseline. This will help stop it from sticking on you so you don't get a vapor lock on it, and you won't be able to get it off of there when you get ready to take the lid off at the end of the canning session. We're going to can these for 90 minutes. That's what beans are supposed to go for. Same thing as meat. So 90 minutes at 10 pounds pressure. So what we'll do is we'll run it, and I'll actually get the lid and everything on there. We'll run it until we get a good steady good steady stream of steam coming out of the nozzle right here. And then once we get a good steady stream, we'll set the timer for 10 minutes. Run it for 10 minutes with good steady stream coming out, and then we will run our pressure up to 10 pounds and we'll adjust our stove until pressure stays right around 10 pounds. My wife's touching me, so evidently there's something else I got to show you. Oh, this is all the extra stuff we have, and of course she is putting in some extra good stuff.
Ham base.
Ham base.
Some salt.
And some salt. And you going to put the ham in or just ham base?
Nope, I'm just
okay,
cooking.
Just the ham base, and then that's going to be my lima beans to eat because I love lima beans. She'll end up cooking this until tomorrow afternoon, and then
maybe not with this one. I don't know.
and then they'll be ready to eat.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're ready to go, so I can get everything lubed and get everything going, and we'll come back when we get ready to start bringing everything up to pressure and setting the timer. Okay, so I got my lid on there. I didn't record doing this. This is one of the things that I like to try to do and try to get done. So when you put your lid on there on the Olmec canner, this is an aluminum seal. So you want to line up. So you've got a mark right here, and you want to set it down to where your locks are on there. You want to turn it to line up your area with your mark. And it's got 2 locks. So it's got one on this side and one around here on this side. Sorry if my video is kind of screwed up. But anyway, so you want to get it to where you have a pretty even gap all the way around. So what I like to do is I like to put it on there and then have my wife double check me. And men, if you know your wife, she will doubt you and she will question you on what you do. So just go with it and let it go. But anyway,
says it's good, it's good.
but anyway, tighten it down. So, and I always do opposites. So I get all of them set up on here at once. And then I tighten down from one side, opposites, the other side, opposites, the other side, opposites. So what you do is, whoever tightens it down, obviously is going to be the one to take it off, because I can tighten it down more than my wife does. You don't have to like overpower this thing. You don't have to put a torque wrench on it. You just want to tighten it and make sure it's tight, because you are going to be building this under pressure. So here, so I've got my heat turned up now, and we're going to wait. So once I start bringing out a good steady steam of a good steady, flow of steam coming out of the nozzle. You can see it's spitting water right now. It's starting to build pressure. Once I start doing that, then I will actually set my timer for 10 minutes, let it actually run and build pressure inside. So we have so we're getting ready to get our vacuum. And then after 10 minutes, I'll put our wobbler on, and we will go 90 minutes after I put the wobbler on. But it goes from the time you put the wobbler on. You only want it to wobble, they said, every minute or so. I usually let mine wobble every, couple times per minute, and it hasn't hurt anything. Everything's been fine. All right, so we'll be back. Okay, so I just got yelled at by my wife. She said it was ready to go, and I didn't think it was. I guess it is. I was in there watching TV. Anyway, so you can see that. So we got steam coming out pretty steady, still kind of intermittent, but we can go ahead and set that timer for 10 minutes. It'll be perfectly fine. So we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes,
and put the wiggler on.
After 10 minutes, we'll put the wiggler on. All right, last video for these beans. There's Miss Charlie, and there's Mr. Butthead. That's Baxter. All right, so we covered up our beans and let them sit overnight. Oh, Cindy's already got the name wrote on there and the dates, and that's how they turned out. Ooh, those are nice. Wow, those are nice. All right, so we cover ours up with a towel, like I said, and then Cindy just uncovered them this morning. They're still a little bit warm, but those are our lima beans. There's Miss Nora. She looks. So, happy bean eating, and God bless the United States.